So today's Motivation Monday video is a little bit different. In fact, it is focused on dating and relationships, but my guy, savvy guy here, has a beef with dating and relationship coaches. And I think for a lot of guys, we've all gotten to this point where, at least for some of us, maybe 50, 60%, I don't know the numbers exactly, but at least for some people, what a lot of these guys preach just doesn't work, right? So we're gonna take a look at this video today. We're gonna react to it. We're gonna talk about it. And I really want you guys to be a part of this conversation because I understand that it's entertainment to an extent, like you're just watching something so the time passes or whatever the case may be. But yo, let's actually have a conversation about this. Let's really talk about these things and try to grow that so we can come to some sort of conclusion, or at least some sort of, not solution, but like alternative, right? Because the more I think about it, and I would assume that you also think this as well, the more I can only imagine how the dating and relationship landscape will change and ultimately fracture and become more transactional as time goes on. So I think it's really important that we have an understanding of what's happening right now. And a lot of it, I gotta be honest, I would blame a lot of it on dating coaches and a lot of these like relationship gurus and things of that nature, but I'm not gonna keep on rambling. Let's go ahead and get into the video.
What's going on, guys? Back at you guys with a little presentation. Happy February. Mr. Lucario, you know that what you're saying is not true, Mr. Lucario. A lot of these dating coaches, they know what they're saying is not true. I got a question for dating coaches and PUAs. What advice would they give to men who are not men who've been treated bad by women? Because little do you guys know, there are some men who've been treated bad by women. Women don't treat all men equally. They just don't. You know, a lot of you dating coaches, y'all believe that it's all about game. There is no such thing as game. It's all about your looks. Why can't you guys admit that it's all about looks?
Because that means they're not gonna have any more money. That's why. So the thing is, this is my perspective, right? Don't try and bash me in the comments or anything of that nature, okay? But my perspective is looks is probably about like 90% of the equation, right? However, that remaining 10% ultimately I think is what cultivates the relationship. Because I mean, let's be real, guys. How many times do you look at an unattractive woman, like a woman you perceive to be unattractive, and think about talking to her? How often does that happen? In fact, I think I read a study somewhere where it stated that men who find, women unattractive, they're actually annoyed. Like we actually get annoyed when unattractive women are in our presence or just, asking questions, things of that nature. And that might sound a little, what's that word? Misogyny? It might sound like that, but I just think that's human nature. It's just what's going on in our brain. But he's asking a very good question. What do you have to say for those guys who ultimately there is no solution? I mean, me personally, I can't even think of an answer for that, Unfortunately, I believe about 80% of the male population does not reproduce, and that's been throughout history. So if anything, today's standard is a little on par, maybe just ratcheted up a little bit more. But what I can definitely tell you is that these problems have existed for a very long time, and it probably won't change for a very long time.
It has nothing to do with your game, your confidence, what you think of yourself. That's all BS. What you believe don't matter. It's what a woman believes you are. What you think of yourself and how you feel about you is not important as a man. It's what a woman feels. Because see, look here. Women gravitate to the men they like. And Player Supreme, he was another liar. But one thing he was honest about when it came to women, he admitted that women do the choosing when it comes to men. Women choose men they like.
Yes. Yes, guys. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You don't have to approach 100 women a day. You don't have to try and strike up conversations with just about every single woman that you meet. Women will put themselves in your orbit. And if she wants to play, then hey, go for it. But for the most part, what I can tell you is if you are chasing women and you're cold approaching, you're doing all this extra bullshit, odds are you're already starting off on a bad leg. You're going to be perceived as lesser than her. And this is facts, guys. Don't try and argue with me on this. This is facts. If you try to chase a woman, you're constantly texting her, annoying her, like hitting her up all the time. Meanwhile, she's not even replying to you. Bro, you're cooked. You're cooked. Attraction is not logical. It is innate. It's a human condition. And unfortunately, for a lot of us, especially in today's society, because society is so fixated on beauty and looks for now both men and women, the dating landscape has turned to absolute shit.
Whose men they like? They choose the man they want to impregnate them, the man they want to be their husband, who they want to have their children, all of that stuff. So women, they just choosing dudes for face value. They not choosing dudes based on no confidence. And the reason to why some men have confidence in themselves is because women like them. Of course you would believe in yourself if women want to give you sex. You know, there are some men who women find attractive so much, they could be married to a woman and have a woman on the side.
Yeah.
Having an affair with another man's wife. There are some men who got it like that because women find them that attractive. People need to cut the BS. There are some men out here who not being chosen. There are some men out here who being treated bad by women, and this is something that needs to be brought to the light. I'm tired of people saying that it's all about confidence. I'm tired of people saying this confidence stuff. It ain't got nothing to do with no confidence when it come to women. Ain't got nothing to do with your game. You know, women, you know, they make themselves available to men that they like. That's something I wasn't aware of in my younger days. So I just want to know, what advice would you dating coaches have for guys who are not being, for guys who getting treated bad out here? Men who being mistreated by women. What advice do you have for these men?
I'm trying to think of an answer right now. I'm not a dating coach, right? Like I do personal training and like some habit coaching, but I'm not a dating coach. Damn, this is a really good question, and I see why a lot of these dating coaches avoid this. But he's asking a really, really good question. What do you have to say for these men? If I had to come up with an answer, I would say, first things first, don't put yourself in a position to be mistreated, right? Like, you have to be able to assess someone's character, and more so than that, you have to be vigilant and, you know, observe who they are and how they treat not only you, but other people too. And if you find yourself in a relationship to where you're constantly being mistreated, then yeah, dude, you should get out of that relationship. I mean, there's no point in being in something that is particularly cancerous to not only your physical, but your mental health as well. But now, more so than that, that's kind of like a cheap way out of this question, because of course anyone could say like, oh, don't allow yourself to be disrespected. But what happens when you're enthralled in a relationship and it's been almost 3 to 4 years and the dynamics of it have completely changed and now she sees you as less than? What is the answer now? I would still say leave. I mean, me personally, if I was ever in a position to where I was being treated bad, off rip, I'm gone. I'm gone. Why would I stay? The way I see these things, I believe humans are so complex as individuals, both male and female, that you can't necessarily try to bank on emotions or what they do. You really have to take these things day by day, because if not, you will find yourself in these positions. So I'm not saying you have to be paranoid and constantly vigilant and things of that nature, but to some extent, you have to be able to assess and reassess time and time again, because if not, this might be the course for you if that happens. She might end up disrespecting you, treating you poorly, and things of that nature if that happens. On a side note though, I would also say how you treat yourself is definitely indicative of how that person is going to treat you going forward as well. So somewhere in there, you might have lost respect for yourself, and she felt that. And through your actions or inactions, what happens in the relationship now is that she sees you less than. So somewhere in there, you have to be able to, you know, control the reins. And if you think I'm brolic, make sure you go over to my fat loss protocol. I forgot the title. Go over to the fat loss protocol, click on the link. But anyway, you got to be able to control the reins, right? And pull it in. And not only that, but that's also applicable to yourself in regards to self-respect. Don't let your self-respect slip, especially if you're in a relationship. Otherwise, you might find yourself on the other side of the table.
You know? And see, another lie that they've told certain men, oh, you can go to church and you can meet you a good God-fearing woman. There ain't no such thing as no God-fearing woman.
Amen.
Because I grew up as a church kid. I never met a God-fearing woman in my life.
Amen. Facts 100%. I also grew up in a church as well. And let me tell you something. If you want to learn game, you want to learn how some women operate, go to a church. Go to a church. I'm not gonna say more than that because I know I have a couple of people who are probably religious. I'm not trying to insult anyone's religion. What I would say is that humans, whether male or female, regardless, humans have perverted that word so much. I personally think it's valueless. But in this case, if you want to know game and you want to know female nature to an extent, go to the church to see these dynamics play out. He's not lying. This is facts.
You know, they'll tell some guys, you know, you need to go to the church and you'll meet you a good woman. Ain't no good women in church.
Ain't no good hoes in church.
People in church.
Hell no.
All church people are evil anyway. So I just want to get some advice what advice would you dating coaches give guys who've been treated bad all their life? Because see, people love to blame men. I know there's men who are not sought after by women, men who are not being selected by women. I notice people always want to say it's something that they're doing wrong. I notice that men who don't have women choosing up on them, men who don't have women trying to throw no pussy their way, people always want to say it's something you got to be doing wrong. That's BS. I don't agree with that. Why can't we just admit that women are shallow?
I would agree and disagree. I think somewhere along the lines, yes, guys, you do have some sort of responsibility to look like decent. You know what I mean? Like, listen, if we all understand that women are shallow, and if you want women, as a side note, I would also say guys are shallow too. Like, let's keep it a buck. I'm shallow. I know you're shallow as fuck. Me personally, I use that as like a barometer to then gauge character, because what I realized is you can talk to a million, or not even talk to, you could be around, hundreds of beautiful women, but if you talk to one of them, eventually you're going to find out that one of them might be a piece of shit. Let's just keep it a buck. So looks aren't everything, but we know as humans, obviously we have eyes. So we're going to find people that are more attractive and want to talk to them. So yeah, as us dudes, we do have some sort of responsibility to at least look presentable to an extent. Like, I'm not telling you to go out and buy Louis Vuitton and dress down to the nines in Gucci. That's not what I'm saying at all. But if you're overweight, brother, lose the weight. Not for the women. You should lose the weight for your mental and for your health as well. But as a byproduct, that's gonna help. That's just facts. Lose the weight. Go to the gym. Yes, I know you guys are gonna argue about height and shit like that too. But I mean, bro, you gotta use what you got. I'm sorry. What sense does it make for you to walk around life imagining that you won't be able to get anything or anywhere? You really want to live 60 years like that? Does that make sense to you? Brother, use what you got. If you got the money, get the leg lengthening surgery. It's dangerous as fuck, but do it. If you're overweight, lose the weight. Go to the gym. If you're balding, try to go to Turkey. I mean, if you can afford to go to Turkey, but if you don't care, then go bald, grow a beard, bro. It's a cool combo. If I was bald, I'm not bald, thank God, but if I was bald, I'd go the bald beard combo. That shit is fire in my opinion.
And they only going for the top 10% of men, the men who look the best. So if you're not somebody like Chris Brown, women ain't checking for you. If you're not somebody like Jeremy Meeks, women ain't checking for you. You know? Because there are men out here who get treated bad by women. You know? But see, I notice people like to demonize men who get treated bad by women and say that it's their attitude and they're negative. And, people just always want to deflect and blame the victim. It's time out for that in 2025. It's so time out for that. Let's just admit some guys get treated bad by women, and let's just admit women are all about looks.
I think both statements could be true. But at the same time, though, I still think it's the responsibility of the individual, man or female, to give themselves the best odds in the dating landscape. I mean, again, First of all, no one's saying you have to participate, right? Like, if you don't want to date, you want to be single for the rest of your life, you want to chill in the crib, not do anything, go for it. No one's going to judge you for that, right? But it would be weird for you to then be upset because of the decision you just made. And if you decide to stick to that, obviously you're not going to get the play that you're looking for. The second thing I would say is, I feel like a lot of us dudes get so caught up in like Instagram models and what these chicks look like that, I'm not gonna lie, we forget what regular women look like. And one can make the argument that quote unquote regular women would say, oh, they also have high standards or whatever the case may be. But that might not be the case for every single woman out there. You gotta give yourself the best chance and also be a little pragmatic with with what you want. I think it's always best to look for character traits as opposed to beauty. Beauty's always going to be just the icing on the cake. But if there's anything I've learned in life, finding the character, what that person really is like, not only how they treat people, but how they treat themselves, is going to be an indicator for how they're going to treat you in the relationship, and even if you guys get along. So I do believe that both statements are correct, but again, I think it's up to the individual and their responsibility to give themselves the best odds possible.
Dating coaches, PUAs, I want you guys to check out this presentation. Let's just admit the reason why some guys get treated bad, the reason why some guys get ghosted by women, the reason why some women tell certain men like myself, I can't go to a movie with you because my car just got repossessed today.
That's crazy.
I had that happen to me back in 2023.
Damn.
Let's just admit women don't want certain men. Let's just admit that. Women find some men to be ugly, and that's why they're not checking for them.
Yes. You really can't refute that. But at the same time, though, the same applies to men. Guys, we got to realize, there's not much difference between us I almost said us ladies. That's bad funny. There's not much difference between us men and women, right? Because again, it's all about the human condition. These are just the traits that we all inherently carry. Sometimes we just see them expressed through women more than men. But much to what he's saying is true for both sides. I understand the frustration. I mean, bro's still holding on to a roast from 2023, so I get the frustration. But at the same time, though, again, gentlemen, we gotta give ourselves the best odds, and at the same time, you gotta be able to forgive and forget, man. Some things just aren't gonna work out. It's not like every single woman I've ever, spoken to or interacted with or had something casual or relationship with worked out. That's just life, brother. Sometimes you might, try to talk to a woman and she might end up shitting on you. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to say it's okay, but that's just the nature of some people. And in this case, because it's dating and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, that's just the case for how some women are going to treat guys. And again, yes, these are realities, but you yourself have to give yourself the best opportunity and the best chance possible. Why would you not? Why would you just give up and just say, you know what, fuck it? Doesn't make sense.
Why can't we admit that? Why can't we just admit that women are shallow people? It's 2025. Let's just admit the reason why you guys are getting treated bad, the reason why you're involuntarily celibate, because women think you're behind ugly. So you need to just get your money up and go on and pay for the coochie.
Damn.
Why can't we just tell certain men that?
Damn. Just go pay for it?
Let's just cut the BS.
Okay.
Now, see, I used to think when it came to females, like I stated before, when I was a teenager, I thought it was about being a gangster. But I realized I was totally wrong. I was misinformed. Being a gangster has nothing to do with getting a woman. It's about your physical appearance. And I just feel like it's time to stop demonizing men who are not being selected by women. Let's just admit women are shallow people, and they don't want to get a vagina to certain men. They feel some Negroes are ugly.
On the topic of nibbers, fellas, my guys that look like me. Actually, you know what? This could probably apply to every single dude. Trying to thug max is not gonna help you, bro. If you think crashing out and thug maxing is gonna help you with the women, it's not. It's gonna land you in jail, and then you're gonna fuck your life up. So please do not do that.
Why can't we just admit that? Let's just cut the BS for a moment. Let's just cut the foolishness for a moment, and let's keep it a hundun.
A hundun.
It's time to just keep it real. It's time to keep it real. So I want dating coaches, I want PUAs to comment on this presentation. Let's just admit women are shallow people, Because a lot of these dudes that women get involved with, they not the best dudes. There's plenty of savages that have multiple baby mamas. It's plenty of a-holes, narcissistic type of men. They got plenty women. A lot of these type of men, you see it on the true crime stories that I cover. These ain't the best type of men. So can we just stop trying to say that women are judging dudes based on personality? Can we stop saying that women are choosing men based on the content of their character? Because that's not the case here. That's not the case.
Bro just went MLK. But he's right though. He's right, you know. I think the funny thing is that like normal society, quote unquote normal society, or just like the basic Reddit posts. I don't know if y'all are Redditors, but if you ever go on Reddit, look up like male grooming and like men's tips and stuff like that. And he's right, because you will see a dude, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but you will see a dude who is just done, bro. Just chopped. Like ain't shit you could do about it. And it's funny because these guys will ask for advice, and people will say like weird shit like, oh, smile more, or like, you know, crack a joke, or like shit like that. And I don't know, man. I think some of those things could work, but I also believe to an extent, yeah, working on your looks will probably help you out a lot more than, you know, trying to be an oofy doofy and jester maxing your way into some cooch, because it's not gonna work, bro. It's not gonna work. But he's spin. Bro is cooking. There's 2 more minutes left. We're gonna watch the rest, but bro is cooking. Let's watch it uninterrupted.
It's not. You know, I just want to know, what are men who've been treated like garbage by women? What are men like this supposed to do? Men who've been mistreated by women. Men who haven't been treated fairly by women, including myself. What are guys like us supposed to do? You know, I know that we need to go to brothels and pay some escorts, but that costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know, I feel some wealthy man should have the kindness of his heart to recruit men who are involuntarily celibate, take them to a brothel and get them laid. That'll be good if some rich man, some multi-millionaire dude say, I'm gonna recruit 100 guys to go to a brothel, and I'm gonna pay for each one of you guys to get you.
Guys, I know I said I was gonna play uninterrupted. I know. But come on, man. Is that not ridiculous? Like you want rich guys to feel bad because you're not getting slash? Dog. Come on. So I think at the time I was like 23, 24. I went to Vegas with my boys and my friend's girlfriend. And, you know, we actually did go to a brothel. I had a good time. I'm not gonna lie. As far as pricing, matter of fact, I'm not exactly sure if I should even continue to deliberate about this on YouTube, but I'll say this much. If you are one of those gentlemen who feel as though, you know, they can't get it, because I mean, like, I was getting it for free, I was paying, didn't really matter. I was doing whatever, right? Didn't matter to me. But if you feel like that's the route for you to go, that could be a viable option for you. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Listen, if you don't really care about having a connection with someone and like talking to them and conversing, yes, it is hard to speak to some women, but at the same time though, some of you motherfuckers out there are fucking retarded too, and it's hard to talk to you as well. So if you lack social skills, but you got money, bro, maybe going to one of them houses is a good deal. But the idea that a rich person is gonna do this for you is crazy. How you try and get rich people to subsidize pussy? This is wild.
Your sausage wet. That'll be a blessing. You know, so, you know, that's what needs to happen. You know, people know the truth deep down. People know why certain guys get treated like trash. You know, and if you're a dude watching this presentation, because I know most of the guys that watch my presentations are men who've been treated like trash. Put a champagne glass in the comments of this presentation if you're a man who's been treated like garbage all your life. If you've been treated like trash, put a champagne glass in the comments of this presentation.
Dang.
Because I know the men that watch my content are not men who are desired by women. These men have been treated like garbage.
Dang.
But I just want to know, what solutions do the dating coaches have for guys who've been treated like trash all their life? Because there's got to be some kind of solution that you guys have. You know, you dating coaches, PUAs, there's got to be some kind of solution that you guys have for dudes in our position, dudes who not wanted. But you guys leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you later. Happy February. Valentine's coming up soon, and I plan on doing the Valentine's Day stream. That's a hell of a holiday.
Oh, man.
But you guys have a good one.
That was Savvy Guy. I'll put the full video in the description below, but you know, this was a powerful video. It was maybe powerful is the wrong word. I would say it was thought-provoking. I gotta be honest with y'all, to be completely honest, I've been treated better by women than by men throughout my entire life. I'm just gonna keep it a bean with you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. So as much as I can understand his perspective, obviously not every single interaction I've had with a woman has been favorable, right? But I could understand where he's coming from when it comes to things about like being mistreated or disrespected, because again, these are human things, but now because we're putting it in this context, they become more amplified. It's more visceral, more tangible, right? It hurts a little bit more. So I understand his perspective, but the more I think about this question, the only answer I can come to is date a woman who's your looks match. You know what I mean? Like, guys constantly go for chicks that are seemingly out of their league and they get burned. And I think for some men, sometimes they end up in these positions where they've been chasing a woman down for so long, she's like tired. You know what I mean? So like, obviously she gives in, but that doesn't mean she's into you. Perhaps the person that she actually wants isn't interested in her either. So, you know, you're kind of like a for now type deal, right? Which is all bad all around. But this is a lot of guys that find themselves in that situation. So it's definitely prevalent. The only thing I could say is try to find your own looks match. Beyond that, I would say as you self-improve and as you develop as an individual, you will find that women will gravitate towards you. I know a lot of people like to balk at this, but it's true. Like my brothers, they the best piece of advice they ever told me was, do your thing and women will come along. And if they want to rock with you, they'll rock with you. If they don't, they don't. You gotta, as a quote from Mr. Lucario, I'm stealing this, shout out to you, I guess, but you gotta have that abundance mindset. And abundance mindset doesn't mean like, oh, okay, you don't wanna fuck with me? Well, then I'll just go grab another one right now. No, all it means is, okay, this didn't work, but another opportunity will come along. And that goes for everything in life, man. You know, you're gonna drop the ball on some things. Some things are not gonna go your way, but that doesn't mean it's the end all be all. The only time it's ever the end all be all is if you decide to quit or if you die. But barring those two things, opportunities will always be around, man. You just gotta pay attention to it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. If you made it this far, do me a favor, do yourself a favor. We're on the road to 10K. I need you to be a part of this community because I want to talk about this, and I want to talk about this with y'all, the people that are seemingly on the front lines, right? So click that sub button, hit that bell, share it with a homie if you found this video to be thought-provoking. If you liked it, like it. It'll help it go into the algorithm so other guys could see it as well. And let's really talk about this, guys. For real, let's have like an amicable conversation about these things that are going on. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below. If you need energy boosting that is natural and it doesn't have chemicals, click on the link to the Nutrionics box. You can get yourself some energy tablets that are healthy, will boost your energy with no crash. Click that link in the bio below, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.